The great Peanut Butter Wolf is the music supervisor for Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Travels of a Tribe Called Quest. I reached out to Peanut Butter Wolf, I don't remember what year it was like 90-something, after I heard Mad Lib's album, Quasimodo. And it was easy working with Michael Rapaport, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Michael Rapaport, and this is
Peanut Butter Wolf. This is what's in my bag. For me, it was a no-brainer to be involved. I was so excited when you asked me to do that, because I mean, Tribe is just one of my top 5 groups of all time, probably top 3.
I wouldn't suggest getting the anthology unless you want to get it. I don't want to stop people from buying albums, but I would suggest getting People's Instinctive Travels, The Low End Theory, and Midnight Marauders.
I call it album-oriented hip-hop, where there's no weak link in the album.
The thing about Tribe Called Quest is they've never been on the cover of one of their albums. It made it about the music, and if any hip-hop group was clearly about the music, it was Tribe. Midnight Marauders. If you love hip-hop, this album is like the White Album.
The first day it came out, I ran and bought the cassette. That's probably one of the only cassettes and records that I own from the 90s.
And what was your first impression?
It just made us step our game up more.
These albums both came out on the same day. The fact that this just goes to show in 1993, like what was going on in hip hop, that 2 albums that are both classics that are so important.
They're still on the top shelf.
You can't talk about Tribe Called Quest without talking about Busta Rhymes and his appearance on the Scenario.
That's where he arrived, kind of, and then even like the remix, even more so.
It was literally like a Martian had come down, landed, and was like, cool. I mean, it's one of the best verses ever.
It's the most quoted, too. Everybody always quotes it. It's really easy to memorize, and yeah.
As I combine all the juice from the mind, heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind. Powerful impact, boom from the cannon, now bragging, try to reap a mind.
And what's her name? Nicki Minaj. Rah, rah, like a dungeon dragon, Black Moon.
It was so dirty. I loved it. Like, it just sounded so wrong, and that's what made it sound so right. I mean, I loved everything on that album.
Who got the props? Put up, shut up,
yeah.
Boom, boom.
They started the rapping of the buses too, I think.
Yeah, Q-Tip would say, Ron Carter on the bass.
Right.
And I was like, I want to learn about Ron Carter.
That's what they brought to hip hop that no one else was really doing. I mean, Jazzy Jeff had the song A Touch of Jazz that kind of touched on it, no pun intended, but after that, like, no one was really messing with jazz, and they broke it wide open.
Right. Tribe and the Beatnuts made me explore jazz more, and now I would say I'm pretty jazz savvy. For me, the jazz section at Amoeba is a place of solace. My all-time favorite, it's a staple in my life, jazz album is A Love Supreme by John Coltrane. First of all, the title, A Love Supreme, is something that I aspire to try to have in my life. I don't know, there's something about it beyond my ability to articulate, something that's so special to me. My first Charles Mingus album is an album in here called The Clown, about this clown, how he sort of comes to a part in his life where he needs to decide, am I going to continue to do this for the love, or am I going to do this for the money?
No. Man, he really knew now.
This was one of my favorites as a kid. Both sides on this are really good. Was Not Was, they're more known for Everyone Walk the Dinosaur, and they're like kind of cheesier, poppier stuff later, but this is really good, like classic disco funk soul.
Prince, of course. Look at this getup. If you have the balls to wear a bandana with nothing underneath it, right then that says you're bad. Look at that.
Yeah, I bought this when it came out. I was like 10 or 11, and it had the poster inside, and the poster was just him like in a shower all wet, and I just did not know what to think. I mean, I love the music and I love Prince, but
it's a little provocative.
It threw me off as a kid, you know?
Why are you in the shower? You couldn't, the photographer was in a rush.
Prince is one of the greatest of all time. Oh, that's a Dilla sample.
This one?
Yeah, this was
break that down. This is a Jay Dilla sample.
Yeah, this was
What did he sample?
One of the De La songs, damn, I was going to say the one that goes Dilla, Dilla, beats, beats, but all of his songs do that, so. Yeah, it's a good one.
Soul Power, did you see this? It has Bill Withers, James Brown, Celia Cruz. Talk about soul. The Spinners with the mutton chops.
When your time is up and your run is down, but love stays around.
Gimme Shelter, ill. The story in it is nuts. They start off by showing the Rolling Stones rewatching the concert. And I don't want to give it away, but at the concert some crazy shit happened. People died, babies were born, and it has the Rolling Stones performing in their prime.
I was born in a crossfire hurricane.
So you mentioned before there really haven't been any hip-hop documentaries on a group. I mean, there's like the Wild Style that was more on just like the whole scene, yeah.
Right. There's multi-documentaries on the Rolling Stones, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Radiohead, Police. All those groups have been documented many, many times. And for me, if you grew up in hip-hop, Tribe Called Quest is similar. So, I mean, it's time to start going back and looking at the hip-hop groups.
You had one voice that was high.
A little high-pitched voice. I hated my voice.
And then you had Tip, who was like in the middle.
And that was always a dynamic.
The yin and yang of those two, that to me was the perfect marriage.
Can I kick it? These are the drums.
Q-Tip just picks the best loops, man.
I was doing an in-store at a record store, and this kid, he came up and he bought Low in Theory, like, yeah, this came out the year I was born, and that just kind of, that flipped.
I don't like hearing that kind of talk.
I love hearing it, though, because I want the kids to know about.
91. That was the year you were born. Where is that little kid? 91, Jesus.
He's absorbing it.
We can get down, we can get down. 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 We can get down.